Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The ACC Championship, unfortunately, is not as exciting as we hoped it would be. Yes, Clemson and North Carolina is going to be a very fun and entertaining matchup, but when it comes to what's at stake, the only thing that's really at stake is an Orange Bowl berth. There's no college football playoff berths like we thought there might be had Clemson defeated South Carolina, and maybe had North Carolina not lost to Georgia Tech and NC State. Neither team are in the playoff discussion. All that's on the line is to be able to have the bragging rights, to be able to hoist that title trophy, and to advance to a New Year's Six bowl game, which is still a big deal, no doubt about it, but it just feels kind of lackluster. But regardless, guys, we are still here today to predict this matchup between the Tigers and the Tar Heels. It's a big top 25, Power 5 conference championship, and we want to talk about it. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, ready to predict and analyze everything you need to know for this matchup between Clemson and North Carolina in the ACC Championship game. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the country, guys. If you want spread picks for every conference championship game, if you want spread picks for every single bowl game, if you want spread picks for every single NFL playoff game, this is the place for you. Thegridironexpert.com is the place for you. Go check it out. Sign up today. Win some money with us as part of our GE Nation. Go check it out. Link down in the description below. So let's take a look at this game, guys. Obviously, this is should be entertaining if we're basing that off of history alone. These two teams did meet back in the 2015 ACC Championship game. Clemson won that game 45-37 in controversial fashion if you are a North Carolina fan. They also met in 2019 in the regular season, Clemson only winning that game 21-20 in Chapel Hill. So some very close matchups the last few meetings between the Tigers and the Tar Heels. Hopefully we'll be in store for another one on Saturday night. You take a look at the offenses going into this game. You start with Clemson. Clemson, a major reason for their struggles, and we put quotes around that because they've still won 10 games each of the last 2 years. Most people would kill for that, but for Clemson, that's not the expectation. The reason they haven't made the playoff this year, the reason they didn't make the playoff last year was because of their offensive struggles. They're averaging 34 points per game, pretty solid. They're averaging 218 passing yards per game, solid. They're averaging 188 yards per game on the ground. But DJ Uiagalelei just hasn't panned out. They haven't really found their identity offensively. Uiagalelei has thrown for over 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, which is better than he was last year where he had more interceptions than touchdowns. But to give you an example, last week against South Carolina, Uiagalelei was 8 for 29 for 99 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. You're not going to win games when your quarterback plays that poorly. And we've seen multiple games like that from DJ during his time at Clemson. He's thrown for over 200 yards just one time in the last 5 games. Will Shipley, the running back for Clemson, he's the workhorse. He is their offense. If you want to say it's their identity, Will Shipley probably is the closest thing to identity you're going to get. He has over 1,000 rushing yards on the year, 14 touchdowns. Running the ball is going to be the key in this game for Clemson if they want to win, because I don't think many fans, and maybe not even the coaches, though they wouldn't tell you that, have faith in DJ Uiagalelei to pull out the win for the Tigers. Take a look at North Carolina. Obviously, they have a very good quarterback. They're very electric, and they are tough to slow down. 37 points per game, 321 passing yards per game, 160 on the ground. They had scored 30 points, at least 30 points in 9 of the 10 games they had played to start the year. In the last 2 weeks to Georgia Tech and NC State, they were held to under 30. Held to 17 against Georgia Tech, blew a 17-0 lead, lost 21-17, and then were held to 27 points in that overtime loss to the Wolfpack. Their star player, though, for UNC is Drake May, their star quarterback, who many thought should have been invited to New York for the Heisman ceremony had they not kind of petered out towards the end. But May, over 3,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, playing phenomenal football. Major reason for North Carolina's success. He's also the leading rusher for North Carolina with 629 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. He has a fantastic wide receiver in Josh Downs, 929 yards and 11 touchdowns on the year. North Carolina simply, guys, is so tough to stop offensively. You need to have an offense that can either hang with them or a defense that can slow them down. Clemson has the latter. They have the defense. Clemson allowing just 20.9 points per game. They're allowing just 100 rushing yards per game. So just like that, I see that and I say, okay. North Carolina's probably not going to be able to run the ball against Clemson, which means it's going to be the Drake May show. Can he win the game by himself solely through the air? Yes, he can. But can he do it against this stingy of a Clemson defense? It's possible. Clemson did allow 360 passing yards to South Carolina. But a major stat there is the fact that Clemson committed 3 turnovers. They had 2 turnovers in their loss to Notre Dame. Poor special teams, and then obviously turning the ball over. So the key for Clemson defensively is, yes, obviously stopping the pass in this game. You've got to stop Drake May and prevent him from beating you deep and beating you, solely through the air. But you've got to be able to hold on to the football. And that's more on the offensive side of the ball. Clemson has to make sure they hold on to the ball. They have lost the turnover battle in the 2 losses they had in Notre Dame and South Carolina. They have lost the turnover battle. That's a problem. That is a problem. You have to hold on to the ball, and you've got to find a way to create takeaways of your own. That's what Clemson's defense has to do. I will say this. They have forced 18 turnovers. That's a good sign. They do have 35 sacks. That's a good sign. If Clemson can get after Drake May, and still a very young quarterback on a very big stage, they can get after him and rattle him early, I think the Tigers' defense will be just fine. When you take a look at North Carolina, their defense is atrocious. It's horrible. It's amazing that North Carolina almost won 10 games in a regular season. 30 points per game. That's what they're allowing. 30.3 to be exact. 273 through the air. 170 on the ground. Will Shipley should have a field day against this North Carolina defense. He should be able to run through it like Swiss cheese. It should be easy for Clemson and the ground game. In theory, DJ Uiagalelei should be able to exploit this North Carolina secondary. But again, I think many people are hesitant to say that after what they've seen from DJ throughout the year. When you look at it a little bit deeper, guys, they allowed 187 passing yards and 186 rushing yards to Georgia Tech in that loss. They allowed 271 passing yards, only 59 rushing yards to NC State. But the big plays is what killed North Carolina. North Carolina State had 3 touchdown drives that were very, very short. Took 3 plays, 7 plays, and then another 3 plays. 3 touchdown drives of 7 plays or less for NC State last week when they beat the Tar Heels. That is on the NC State, North Carolina's defense. That's on their defense for giving up too many big plays and allowing those offenses to score very, very quickly. And if they do that, they score really quickly, and then you put your offense back on the field, and they go 3 and out, that defense is tired. They're out there a lot. And that's going to be a recipe for disaster if you're North Carolina. So you've got to find a way to make them one-dimensional. Really, if I'm North Carolina, I'm focusing on stopping the run. Clemson's key, stop the pass. North Carolina's key, stop the run and force DJ to win. But most importantly, limit the big plays. Make Clemson march down the field. Make them earn every single yard. Unlike really what NC State had to do, where they were just running all over North Carolina in that overtime thriller. What's going to happen, though? What's going to happen on Saturday night? Again, it's important. Get a conference title to your name, to say you're a conference champion. That's still a big deal. To get to go to the Orange Bowl or whatever New Year's Six bowl game you get to go to, that's a big deal. Probably more so in the sense for North Carolina than Clemson, who, even if they do win this and even if they do go to the New Year's Six bowl game, is going to kind of view this as a disappointment because they didn't win the ACC last year, didn't even play for it. They didn't even go to a New Year's Six bowl game last year, but they thought they'd bounce back and make the playoffs. So this is still a bit of a disappointment. You do wonder if Clemson will be a little bit hungover coming into this game. I'm going to go out and say I don't think they are. I think Dabo Swinney has his team focused. And I think he says, hey, yes, we're not where we want to be, but we can still win 12 games this year if we win this and win our bowl game. We didn't get to play for an ACC championship last year. Now's our chance to be back and to retake the conference. I think that's exactly what Clemson is going to do. I think Clemson has the coaching edge. I think they have the defensive edge. I think they've got some players that have been in this situation before. Again, I do question a little bit of the motivation, but I think that gets kind of crushed relatively easily. It's a close game. It comes down to the fourth quarter, but Clemson's defense makes a play when they need them the most. And the Tigers recapture the ACC. They capture their 11th victory of the year, and they will be off to yet another New Year's Six bowl game. This is the playoff? No, but it's still a pretty dang good year for Dabo Swinney in Death Valley. So once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Again, if you want spread picks for every conference championship game, every college football bowl game, and every NFL playoff game, this is the place for you. Go check us out. Get a link down in the description below. Sign up today and become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.